Welcome to the Ditch Auto Photography Challenge. This is week 1. I'm super excited to be here, and I'm super excited that you are here along for the ride. Now, this challenge is the first week, and we're going to kick it off this week with just a simple, common photography composition method called the rule of thirds. Now, the rule of thirds is a simple way to divide up the scene, what it is that you're looking at, and where you would place your point of interest, or your person, or your subject, or your object, or whatever it is, typically falls somewhere in one of those intersections of the rule of thirds. It's so common that it's baked into most of our cameras. We can simply turn that on and have the rule of thirds right there. Or you can, of course, just leave it off and try to do that manually using your eye. There's no problem in turning that feature on. It definitely makes it really easy for you to line things up. I just want you to do this in whatever way is most comfortable and easy for you. But I want you to use the rule of thirds. Even though there are perfectly acceptable reasons to break the rule of thirds, this week I want you to use the rule of thirds as your guide for taking your photo. Now, using the rule of thirds definitely helps you kind of elicit emotion or story from your photo. And the whole concept is to tell a story with your photo. And I feel like that's an overplayed term. Now, what I know that you can do with a photo is elicit emotion. And I think that's maybe a better kind of term to use, is emotion, because depending on what you have positioned in your photo and the way that it is, the lighting that's on it and all that stuff, it does elicit emotion, and that's what I want you to go for. So don't think about how is this photo going to tell a story if I'm taking a picture of like this cool street sign that I like. That street sign in and of itself isn't going to tell a story without you telling everybody what you were thinking when you saw it. But when we look at it, the way that it's positioned, the lighting that you have on it, or the way that the sun was lighting it, or whatever, the placing that you put it in your frame, those things are going to make us feel a certain way when we look at it. And that's what I'm looking for, is what kind of emotion is that going to tell us, or what are we going to feel? Kind of like you are trying to get us to feel that emotion. So be thinking about that when you take the photo, but don't overthink it. Think more about your composition, think more about where you're placing the item, the person, the subject in the photo, and let that be your guide this week. Don't do it in post-production. Try to do it within your camera. That's going to be my challenge for you. So once you're done, come back to the Facebook group in the post for this week's challenge and post it as a comment underneath the week's challenge, which should be the pinned post for that particular week. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them, and I look forward to seeing what you guys come up with. And remember, you don't only have to take one photo. Of course, you can submit one, but if you have others that you want to share, feel free to use social media, and of course, even submit or post your submission photo. And don't forget to use the hashtag DitchAutoChallenge. Thanks so much, and we'll see you throughout the week in the Facebook group.